Now let's talk about the soil fungi. Soil fungi can extend up to 100 meters of hyphae per gram of the soil, and we can find that sometimes fungi can be found as mushrooms sprouting on our lawns. And the vast majority of the fungal mass is being found below the ground, where the filaments, they will bridge open areas between the soil particles or aggregates and are exposed to a high level of oxygen. So fungi could also tend to darken and form oxygen impermeable structures called the sclerotia or the hyphal cords also. So the basic form that of a fungus is referred to as a hyphae, and this hyphae mass might be found crisscross to each other and form a mycelium, and that might be found usually under the soil. But at the same time, and they will increase the soil permeability to the oxygen, but we can see that there are certain areas within the fungi which serve as oxygen impermeable areas. These are referred to as the sclerotia or the hyphal cords. And we can see that the mushrooms, especially of the basidiomycetes form, they form they are being found on the surface, and they also form structures as an oxygen sealing mechanism. That is, the regions where oxygen is need to be depleted, or also they also form such structures such as a sclerotia as under the soil. And within these structures, what happens? The filamentous fungi, they move nutrients and water over the great distances, including across the air spaces, a unique part of their functional strategy. Now, if you go to look into the fungus, now we think that fungus is something, you cannot think that fungus is something small. Looking at the picture over here itself, you can see a mushroom which has been found to be very much bigger than that of human height is also been found. Now, especially those of this genus Armillaria are being found to be of big size. And the picture which I have shown here is of about Armillaria ostoia, which has been found in, it's a honey mushroom which has been found in Oregon. And there's another one called of Armillaria bulbosa, which is mainly being found in Michigan. It covers an area of about 30 acres of land, but I didn't get a picture of that to lay down into my slide. So the size of the fungi can be of different types. Now, you cannot say that always, that don't expect the fungus to be as small or microscopic in nature. They would be macroscopic and even quite huge or gigantic, as we see in this picture. Now, the fungi, the fungal forms in the soil, they can be either microscopic, as usually grow as long threads or strands called the hyphae, and they may push in between the soil particles, roots and the rocks, increasing the oxygen permeability or the oxygen availability in the soil. And some of them, these hyphae, which are about few micrometers, they might also form entangled masses called the mycelium also. And some of the fungi are also considered to be as yeast or single cells. Now, and you can see that some hyphae, they will also group into masses called the mycelium, and also root-like structures called the rhizomorphs are also being formed by certain hyphae or by certain fungal hyphae. And fungal fruiting structures called the mushrooms, they are mainly made up of hyphal strands, spores, as some specialized structures like the gills on which the spores are being formed. That is, within, if you go to look into the mushroom, what happens is the underside of the mushroom, there are certain fine like lamellae like structures. They are referred to as the gills, and within these gills are the present the spores. And a single individual fungus can include many fruiting bodies scattered over an area as large as a baseball diamond also. Now, let's just look into some of the fungal hyphae, which are some fungi which we come across different areas of the soil. Now, the first one, it refers to as a fungal mycelia, which could be found on the soil. Sometimes you also find some mushrooms. And now this is a mycorrhiza in the soil. You know what is a mycorrhiza? It's an algal fungal association, and that has been found. We'll be dealing with that in detail in the coming classes. It's a type of mutualistic reaction which is happening over here. And this is another type of fungus called the podomyces. Podomyces, yeah, that's it. Podomyces species which has been present. And if you go to look into the roles of fungi, we can see that the fungi can be divided into three main groups. One is the decomposers, then is the mutualists, and then the pathogens or the parasites. The decomposers are the saprophytic fungi, which will convert the dead organic material into fungal biomass, carbon dioxide and small molecules, just the organic acids. And they generally use a complex substrate such as cellulose or lignin in the wood and are essential in decomposing the carbon ring structures in some pollutants. And some of these are considered called the sugar fungi because they use the same simple substrates as do many as some bacteria also, and so some of them are considered to be as a sugar fungi. And like bacteria, they are also important in immobilizing or retaining the nutrients in the soil. In addition to this, we can find that some fungi can also form secondary metabolites. You know what is a secondary metabolite? A secondary metabolite is something which has been formed during the, not in the log phase, during the lag phase. Okay, and they could include organic acids, and they would also increase the accumulation of humic, acid-rich organic matter that is resistant to degradation and may stay in the soil for hundreds of years. So the first and the primemost function of the fungus is the decomposition of the organic matter. Now, the second role is a mutualistic type of demonstration, or it is the association with when fungi will be colonizing with the plant root. Okay, so the fungi and the plant root association is referred to as a mycorrhiza. Then some of them could be ectomycorrhizal and some would be endomycorrhizal, and they mainly help to solubilize the phosphorus and bring soil nutrients to the plant. And I guess I made a mistake earlier. Mycorrhiza, I had told it is a algal and fungal. That is wrong. That is a different one. This is a algal as well as not algal, the plant and the fungal association is referred to as a mycorrhiza. And then you also have pathogens or the parasites which can cause various pathogens, of course, which causes diseases in the plants. Now, for example, verticillium, pythium, rhizoctonia, these are all some important types of pathogens which grow in the plants. And there would be also certain parasitic ones also. And some of the fungi are also help to control various diseases. Now, for example, there is a nematode trapping fungi which can parasitize the disease causing nematodes, and the fungi will feed on the insect, and that can be used as a biocontrol agent also. So, the three main roles that we have here in the case of fungi is that it can either decompose the organic matter, it can occur as a mutualistic reaction in the plant where the plant is getting benefited, as in the case of mycorrhiza. And there what happens is the fungi will help to solubilize the phosphorus and bring the soil nutrients to the plant. And the final relation which can happen is either it can it can serve as a pathogen in the plant, or at the same time it can live as a parasite in various other protozoans and as well as nematodes, etc. And we can use this fungi as biocontrol agents when they are being parasiting the various other disease causing agents. And we can see that the fungi have some roles also. The main roles that we have in the case of fungi in the soil is that they serve as reservoirs, and they help to provide water as well as nutrients and to the plants. Also, a process of disease suppression is also being aided with the help of fungi. Along with bacteria, the fungi also decompose the soil organic matter, the food web, and they convert the hard to digest organic material into forms that the organisms can use. The fungal hyphae, they also bind to the soil, and the soil particles have been bound together or they form different beds with the help of the fungal mycelium, and stable aggregates are being formed. And when stable aggregates are being formed within the soil, they will help to increase the water infiltration, and the water holding capacity of the soil will also be increased by the action of the fungi. So do remember, we have different fungi over here, and the fungi that which has been present here, it could be of different roles. It could be either decaying, or it could be helping in the decomposition of organic matter, or it might give a mutualistic reaction, or a mutualistic means a beneficial reaction to the plant, providing it with nutrients, or it could be parasitic, or also sometimes it would be pathogenic even to the plant. Do remember of the mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is a plant fungal association. Because I had made an error, I am just correcting it once more. So thank you for now. We will be dealing with the other microfloras within the soil in the coming sessions.